Week 6, Monday, drawing day. Today was my favorite model, the one I was talking about last week, I think. And today it was an emotional roller coaster. With that model, everything was set up for a good session. And in fact, the structure of my drawings was solid. But I got so frustrated when I ruined the last drawing of the afternoon with hatching, with tratteggio. I did so bad. The structure was solid, the drawing was solid, but then I put tratteggio on it and I destroyed it. I got so frustrated, it actually traumatized me a little bit as well, since I was afraid to put tratteggio on the following drawings too, because wasting such a pose, wasting a pose of that model was so bad. That frustration led to a mental block that I couldn't shake off until I made a drawing only through hatching, only through tratteggio, without putting the outlines. And the result wasn't actually that bad. I think that recovered a little bit my mood. Also, after the evening poses, we practiced portraits. It was the second time for me practicing portraits and it was super interesting. I was actually really happy about a portrait that I made of a student, but mostly of a portrait that I made of a teacher who is actually called Giotto. How fun is it that an art teacher is called Giotto? Like, amazing. I was really happy about that portrait, and also there were some students that portrayed me and also the teacher portrayed me too, and it's super fun to see how other people portray you. After the good result, do you think I could have a future as a portrait artist? I don't know, let's see. But what I'm understanding is that at the academy there are good days and there are worse days. It really depends on inspiration, but on many variables and factors as well. I would define today a successful day after a couple of successful results that I brought home with me. Let's keep the fingers crossed for tomorrow. Tuesday, drawing day. Today it was a little bit flatter in terms of emotions. Also, I had to leave a little bit earlier. Today, when the model wasn't there, we practiced drawing by copying some sculptures that we had in the academy with the guidance of the new teacher I was talking about a few weeks ago. Although it's only 1 month that I've been at the academy, I already can't look at these sculptures anymore. Obviously, I prefer drawing from life. I know how useful they are, but literally I feel like I've drawn them already 1,000 times, so it's very hard to bring myself to copy them, despite I know I have still a lot to learn from them. And talking about drawing live models, today I chose a nice angle that I like, that I never taken before. I basically sat below the model. By sitting in that position, I had an amazing foreshortening view. I think that's how it's called, but basically it's when everything that's in front, I need to make it very big, and it's intuitively difficult because our brain brings us to make things the size we think they are and not how they look in reality. So it's a quite challenging angle to take, but I actually enjoy it, and I know I need to practice it more because I enjoy sitting in that angle. I'm not good at it still, but I really want to improve. So this is something that I'm gonna be doing more often in the future. I also skipped some quick sketches to go around the class and look at the approach of the most skilled students of the academy. And what I concluded from that was the fact that I need to better study Bridgman and to practice his geometrical figures, because by understanding how the body is actually made of many solid figures like cones, cylinder, boxes, and so on, it would help to understand the change of planes, it would help to understand also the construction of the figure and tratteggio, the hatching and the shading. So I definitely need to bring myself to do that in the future. Finally, today I went to an art shop and I bought the wood to make canvas, because in the next few days during painting classes they will teach us how to prepare a canvas from scratch, and I'm looking forward to it. Wednesday, painting day. Today we didn't have the model, and actually I don't remember if I already said that, but we have the model only in the last 2 weeks of the month. Actually, this month the model is gonna be present in the 2 central weeks because at the end of the month the school is gonna be closed for a week or so. So this week we don't have the model, but next week we will. Today we were assigned each one a different thing to paint. I was assigned a head of a statue. There was a weird angle, weird perspective from me, which is what I need to practice and which I'm really enjoying actually as well. For the first time, I actually drew the figure directly with oil colors, while previously what I used to do was firstly to make a drawing in graphite of the figure on a paper sheet and then replicate that in oil colors. Well, today I went straight directly to oil colors with my drawing. It was successful as well. Like, I managed to give a nice structure, which I'm happy about. And also the grisaille is actually coming out nice. I'm saying coming out because I haven't finished it yet. I think I'm gonna finish it tomorrow because I will have the hair to work on, but I'm looking forward to finish it because I think it's gonna be my best work so far. And that's good because everything I've been doing so far probably went into progression. This week I'm actually seeing that a little bit more compared to previous times. What I liked about today's figure was the fact that I managed to raise the lights as they should be, which was something that I had to work on from previous weeks, as I was saying. And also the volumes are very well expressed, I feel, or at least that's what I've been told. So I'm pretty happy about it. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that from time to time and being proud of finally something. I need to do that a little bit more. Tomorrow we'll need to leave the academy a little bit earlier because I will have an event that Alex, one of our teachers, organized for us, but I'm gonna tell a little bit more about that tomorrow and I'm looking forward to it. Today it was a super fun day at the academy, but not as productive. However, sometimes we need some fun as well. We're always super productive and it's fine not to be 100% productive the whole time. This morning we actually understood how to mix skin tones and that was super interesting, although I still don't paint with colors because, as you might know, I'm still doing underpainting and grisaille, which is painting with a scale of gray. The teacher was doing a demonstration on skin colors, so it was still very useful to know for the future, especially a future that I really hope to reach very soon. But before that, as I keep saying, I need to understand the fundamentals. In the afternoon, instead, the teacher showed us how to start preparing a canvas from scratch. So what I did is that I brought a piece of cotton mixed with linen from home, and then I bought the wooden canvas, let's say the wooden structure on which it should have been built, and I understood how to put cotton on the canvas. First of all, like this, the canvas is not ready yet to be painted on. So next week he's gonna explain us how to actually prepare the surface so that the color adheres to the surface and we can paint on it. I'm very looking forward to it because right now I have my little canvas, but it's not ready yet. Painting wise, I wasn't super productive, as I was saying, because we actually did these many things today. But however, I kept working on the head of the statue that I was working on yesterday. And I needed to finish the hair part, and that was quite difficult at the end, although I'm satisfied with the result. I would say there's been an improvement compared to last week. I can see that the volumes are clearly there, although I still need to work a little bit on the transition between shadow and light and also make everything a little bit softer, let's say. Also, like 10 minutes before going away, the teacher showed me how to use a first color on my grisaille, which was actually a yellowish color, because the lights that were projecting on the statue were actually very warm. So the lights that I was seeing were yellow. So this is a first step forward and towards colors. So I'm super happy about that. I hope that I will be able to use it next week, but I guess I will. I'm super excited about that. Also tonight, we were supposed to go to an event that the teacher was so kind to organize for me and some other people of the academy. It was actually the event of Mi Art, which is a contemporary art fair that we have in Milan once a year. That was a private event because it's still not open to the public, but there is an artist who's friends with our teacher who was gonna guide us inside the fair and help us going around and enjoying the art fair a little bit more. However, when me and the other girls arrived there, we couldn't get in touch with the artist. At the end, we all went to have aperitivo together and drink something together. It was a pity, obviously, because I was so looking forward to that. However, it was still a nice occasion to enjoy ourselves, to get to know each other, to talk about art, and still we can go to the art fair this weekend organizing ourselves. So it was a pity, but at the end it turned out as a nice night anyway. And that's why I'm like dressed up with big earrings and so on, because it was actually gonna be like an event night. But at the end it was a super fun day at the Academy. Tomorrow I'm still gonna vlog because there's gonna be a museum visit, and see you tomorrow. Friday, last day of the Academy, and also today we went to a museum, actually in particular to Museo Diocesano here in Milan, with Elena Trailina, an ex-teacher of the Academy who still comes with us and guides us through these Friday visits from time to time. And she's so knowledgeable and so skilled that it's actually a pity that she's not teaching us every day at the Academy. In Museo Diocesano, there will be Deposizione di Tintoretto until the end of May, if you're interested. And we stayed there analyzing the painting for a long time and with so much enthusiasm that at some point the person who was guarding the painting started asking us to be more quiet and to be further from the painting several times, but we just couldn't stop ourselves. It was just too nice. Also, we went on the other room where there were a lot of drawings by ancient masters, and we stayed there to copy some of their drawings, in particular their tratteggio, their hatching. It's always nice to draw at museums. I really enjoyed this time as well, although we didn't spend that much time doing that, especially because we needed to have lunch. And after lunch, we came back and we analyzed the permanent collection. We focused more on the techniques of preservation of these paintings. It was something that I've never heard about before today. So for me, it was something new to hear. And I'm always happy when that happens because I realize there are so many things I don't know and that I want to learn and that I need to learn. And as I always say, I love these Friday visits. I think it's so important to go to museums, and there are so many museums that I still want to visit, not only in Milan, but like actually worldwide. I must say that this was one of the best weeks at the Academy, one of the funniest one as well. One of the factors was the weather that's becoming really nice in Milan, but mostly the social component, because I'm managing to socialize every week more with the students of the Academy. We went out for drinks a couple of times, and that allow us to be closer, but also to talk a little bit more about art. But the social component also applies to teachers who are always happy to have a chat with you and tell you their experiences, tell you what they think about different topics you ask them about, and you can really see they care about giving you their knowledge, and they're really happy about guiding us through finding our own creative path. And this is something that I really appreciate, and this is something that really makes this Academy great. So I'm loving every part of it. This is it for this week. If you like the video, leave a comment, like, and subscribe to my channel, and see you next week. Bye!